to Criterion Corner. I'm your host, Scotty V, and today we're talking about The Human Condition 1. It's directed by Masaki Kobayashi and was released in 1959. It starts off with a Japanese man named Kaji who is unsure if he wants to get married to his sweetheart because he thinks he'll be drafted into the war and he's afraid. The way he gets out of that is he's promised a job kind of out in the middle of nowhere at this mine to help the war effort. And the person who assures him of the job also assures him that they can get an exemption for the war. So he won't have to go and fight if he takes this job. So he moves there with his wife and is in charge of labor for this mining camp. At the beginning of the film, they start out showing the mistreatment of the workers about a half hour, and they get to the mine and they start talking about the conditions of the mine there for the normal workers who are still paid a wage but, you know, exploited terribly. And this new guy, Kaji, comes in and tries to change everything and change the way things are done and has new ideas that they call leftist ideas that are politically dangerous for the time. And but he comes in wanting people to be treated better and no beatings, pay your men, you know, feed them properly, just everything, just better conditions in general. And what happens is they need to increase their productivity at the camp by any means necessary, and that means taking POWs from China. So they bring in these Chinese prisoners and use them for slave labor. So the entire film is really about this struggle that Kaji has, this struggle of morality, and, you know, does he let these prisoners be executed, and what does he do about escapees? And it's all about his struggle to find his humanism. Right away, this movie is so beautiful, just amazing, astonishing to look at. The cinematography and lighting is fantastic, and just the way it's framed, all the composition, the blocking of the actors and the way they're placed in frame, it's just so beautiful. Like, it's just a wonder to look at, and the performances were phenomenal from everyone as well. Now, it's like 3.5 hours long, so it is a bit hard to get through. Might take a couple of tries, and the beauty of the cinematography doesn't prepare you for how horrifying and harrowing it is over the time to see the conditions of the camp. There's a scene where they open up these trains of the Chinese workers, and it's just so haunting, and it's so horrifying to see how badly these Chinese men and women were treated in that environment. There's a scene towards the end that's particularly horrifying, and it does take some strength to get through. But it's well worth the 3.5 hour runtime. It didn't feel that long to me. I had to take it in some chunks because I had, you know, stuff to do. But it's well worth the watch. There is an intermission, so you have time to get up and do stuff without even having to pause. But the great thing about Criterion Channel is you can watch these amazing films and be able to pause and watch on your own terms. You can even watch it on your phone if you need to. I really thought it was an amazing look into the horrors of war and wartime, because it doesn't take place on the battlefield, but you feel the wartime propaganda and just the wartime mentality. And overall, excellent film. I highly recommend The Human Condition. I'll be covering parts 2 and parts 3 on this channel, the Scott Vancil channel. So every Wednesday at 5 p.m. you can catch Criterion Corner. We'll go over the next parts, and I highly recommend The Human Condition. Well, that's it for Criterion Corner. Tune in next week. Like, share, and subscribe.